Warren Joshua Prive, alcohol and drug addiction. I'm 44. I've been using alcohol and drugs since I was 14 years old, and on and off, but usually a pretty regular basis. I've smoked weed every day probably for the last 20 years, and for the last 5 years I've been a heavy binge drinker. Mostly vodka and hard alcohol. Very sick. I was going through withdrawals. I was very lost and scared and unsure of treatment. And I was also riddled with guilt and shame from all the people I've hurt over the years. Primarily my children. 4 days, I didn't sleep very well, I was very sick. And then about 6 days after I arrived here, I started programming. My first week was very, how do I say, I was unsure of myself. I wasn't quite sure if I'd made the right decision. I was very apprehensive, but I did jump in and tried to open up as much as I could for the first week. I learned a lot about myself and about the nature of addiction, the science behind it, and the brain chemistry, as well as the emotional side of things, and it dug up a lot of past hurts and a lot of trauma that I went through growing up that I was avoiding for a lot of my life, masking with drugs and alcohol. The most growth I've seen in myself was in learning how to identify and deal with my emotions, namely my anger and guilt and shame, and how to kind of let go of some of those things and focus on why I drank the way I did and why I was the way I was. It was very mind-opening, eye-opening, I guess you could say, and it was very heartfelt and genuine. The staff was amazing. They were like super caring and gentle, but they were also direct and objective when they needed to be. My plans for my future are to live a life sober and to be my true self and to be comfortable with that person, to be able to be my authentic self and not have to hide or be ashamed of my feelings. Warren Prive is a good person. He's a very empathetic, caring person. I used to put other people's feelings before mine a lot, but now I realize that I'm the most important person in my life. I need to take care of that guy and to love him and to not be so hard on myself, that is. The advice I could give to a newcomer or a struggling addict out there is to not be scared to take that first step and ask for help. That's probably the hardest part of this journey, was just admitting that I couldn't handle it on my own, and that it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to be vulnerable, and it's okay to kind of let go of the wheel and let somebody else drive for a while and, help you on that journey. This place is amazing, and the staff here are angels, and they really helped me a lot to deal with my issues and just to be a better, more genuine person, and not to not to ignore my feelings, and to realize that we feel these feelings for a reason, and how to deal with that, and what they could teach us.